Let's learn more about energy. We've got John Licata. He is the chief executive and chief commodity strategist for Blue Phoenix, a commodities consulting firm. John, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in. So, all right, let's just start with oil today, up 3%. What, a bounce? Has anybody changed their opinion about oil? What's going on?
Well, I certainly think it was a bounce. I think most people are trying to figure out, in general, what's going on with the U.S. currency. Crude's priced in dollars. I don't really think fundamentally much has really changed. I think demand is still very strong. To be honest with you, I still think that we're going to get back above $95 by the end of the year. I think a lot of the downward pressure is going to be short-lived. Hurricane season, the bulk of hurricane season is really in the next 2 weeks.
So that could affect what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico and all the refining capacity.
As well as refinery stocks, the price of gasoline, natural gas could be positively affected by this as well. But I think it's interesting because, a year and a half ago, if you recall, when the BP Horizon oil spill happened, the president, was put the clasp on offshore drilling.
Right, no more.
And now we're actually letting that happen much more frequently.
The permits are coming, and
to me that actually signifies that although alternative energy is a good opportunity down the road, that we still need this source of energy now. And I think that's one of the reasons why crude oil can actually have a very positive move over the next couple of weeks.
All right, but given that it's under $100 a barrel, what are we talking about? Maybe 82 to 85 in the last couple of days. Good for the economy because gasoline's going to get cheaper?
Not really, actually. Because I think it's going to be extremely short-lived, but really we haven't seen that adjustment at the pump. I mean, we really haven't seen the price of gasoline come down so much. I mean, it's very quick when it goes up, but it never really, it kind of matriculates its way back down, let's say. But I really don't think that we're going to see too much easement. I mean, I think that, if anything, I think the S&P move the other day was more of a QE3 than what a potential QE3 can do, because they were able to accomplish what the Department of Energy was not, and get temporarily at least the price of crude oil down. But I don't think that's going to last.
All right. Well, we got, remember the Department of Energy inventory numbers saying that people are driving. Demand is there. So do you think that this is a good trade? Buy some oil right now? Buy oil stocks, oil service stocks?
Well, it certainly depends on your time horizon. But I actually do. Obviously, Blue Phoenix has a $95 price target on it from here out.
Okay.
Now, I think that that's going to be benefit. Look at the price movement in Exxon today. That came down a lot of pressure. A lot of refineries are still very positive. I think really right now the move can be toward the natural gas names. I really think that companies like EOG Resources can really benefit from a spike in natural gas. If you actually correlate crude oil versus natural gas has fared very well over the past week, while generally commodities have sold off. To me, I think that people are starting to realize what's happening in the Atlantic region. And just before I came here, I got in touch with my contacts at NOAA, and there's 3 storms brewing right now over the next couple of days. Something to keep an eye on. Perhaps natural gas sees a spike before the weekend.
National Oceanographic and Atmospheric.
You continue to impress me.
There you go. So tell me about other parts of the energy complex, because if you say that oil is going to go up, the refiners, they've been benefiting from a little bit of a spread here, right? I mean, their margins have gotten a little bit healthier over the last 6 to 8 months. That going to continue?
That crack spread, that differential, what you're talking about, from taking a barrel of crude and breaking it down to jet fuel, to heating oil, to reformulated blend gasoline, that's what been one of the best movers in the energy complex over the past 12 months. I actually would start peeling out of some of those names, the Hollycorps, the Western refineries, the CVR Energies. I actually think a lot of these companies are fully valued at present, and I think that possibly some of the alternative energy names. You and I have been talking about nuclear energy for quite some time. I actually think that even just today there's been some positive developments on that side, with Toshiba's unit Westinghouse seemingly look like they're going to get a more favorable ruling in Georgia for the next reactor that could possibly be built come January. And I think that that sector, the nuclear sector in general, Pimm, being off nearly 50–60% when you start looking at bellwether names like Cameco, or you look at small names like Strathmore or UEC. I think these are opportunities to get in because we're still keeping with our standards for emissions. That hasn't changed. So if that is going to stay intact, I think the alternative energy, perhaps electric cars, that's something Blue Phoenix is beginning to
I know you were just in Raleigh, North Carolina at an electric car alternative energy symposium.
Yeah, I went to the 2011 plug-in conference down in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Pimm, utility companies are on the bandwagon. The automotive companies are on the bandwagon. I think investors should be as well.
All right. Well, you're going to keep us on the bandwagon, keep us up to date. Thank you very much, John Licata, joining us from Blue Phoenix.